do these podcasts on a Tuesday. Well, this one anyway.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to have done this one yesterday. Because it's all about yesterday. So
Yeah.
anyway. Subirsi el carro,
Mhm.
auf den Zug aufspringen, prendre le train en marche,
Mhm.
pegar o bonde andando.
Mhm.
This will have been the phrase most commonly used around the world. In English, it means jumping on the bandwagon. This would have been most commonly used around the world since Starmer went up the first step of the staircase heading to the aeroplane, taking him to try and associate himself with the peace deal made between Israel and Hamas, who was still hunkered down in Gaza.
Mhm.
For anybody to suggest that the UK had an important part to play, like the Education Secretary did, in the whole deal, has not only got to be telling one of the biggest whoppers ever, but it has just got to be downright embarrassing. Mr. Starmer, the whole world can see you. They did see him. The king had no clothes. You're making the UK a laughing stock on the world stage, so why do it? I can only think it's because you're trying to convince the Muslim population in the UK that you are more than a tool maker, like your dad was. Yet only a tool you make of yourself. I'm not even sure the Muslim communities are buying what you're selling. I know Israel isn't. They made it quite clear before you buckled your safety belt on board that the UK had absolutely no part in the peace negotiations that took place. On the contrary, you tried to put a stick in the spokes of any deal made by declaring a non-delimited, non-governed, non-recognized piece of land as a state. The declaration served for absolutely no use whatsoever for either side. It didn't do anything.
No.
It only ruffled feathers. But off you went, riding on the coattails of Donald Trump once again, to try and get the photo in where, you can later tell your grandchildren that it was actually you that brokered the peace deal and not the President of the United States.
Mm.
Some people have no shame. So instead of the lyrics sang by Herman's Hermits, there's a kind of hush all over the world. If you listen carefully, you will hear Subirse al carro, auf den Zug aufspringen, prendre le train en marche, pegar bonde andando, or jumping on the bandwagon.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Well,
I'm going to
it's more of an editorial than a headline.
now, as a British person, British citizen, I should be feeling very angry, um, disappointed, yeah, that the leader of the country I represent is being humiliated by other world leaders. Yeah. I don't think he needs any help from other world leaders on that score. I yeah, I I just look at him. I look at his body language. I look at him, and it's like, we all make gaffes. We all make mistakes, and I'm tolerable to this. Yeah, okay. You're live and everything else. Okay, and sometimes, yeah. I do honestly believe the man is totally unaware of anything, any perceptions of him. And now I'm not saying that you should be weak and fold at every point. He's weak to begin with. We can see that. And yeah, when Donald Trump was referring to the weak leaders on the presser on the on Air Force One on the way back, which I found more enlightening than that staged or not so staged press conference. I mean, I like Donald Trump. He's off the cuff like this. I won't say I worship the guy. I'm not like that. I'm not a great MAGA person. because that has its failings and drawbacks as well. But I like him because he is off the cuff. He's to say he's one of us, he isn't. Yeah, I mean, he has a much better lifestyle than I could ever dream of having, but I don't care about that. But the way he just speaks to people, the informal thing on, and even in a presser, he goes off script. He takes things the way he was, I suppose, congratulating those that made an effort to at least do everything that goes against every fibre in their body to sit down with people. I don't know if they like or dislike each other, but people that they don't feel comfortable negotiating or talking to. Yeah. Quite how he managed that. Was it a business thing? Was it threats? I don't care. He got them talking. Yeah. This is what we got grateful for. Now people are saying, well, what about the future and all that? Well, let's build on what we got now. Now, that building part had nothing to do with the UK at all, with Britain. The build in recent times, the negotiations.
Right, okay.
Our involvement in past in the region has not always proved to be the most successful ideas, given the mandate between the British and the French years ago. I want to be proud of my country. I saw yesterday as a complete new low I've never experienced, certainly in my lifestyle.
My man, that video you sent to the group
Yeah.
of Jeremy Kyle. I mean, I don't like Jeremy
Oh
Kyle,
yeah.
but when he was laughing at what happened, he was laughing in disbelief. That is TV gold,
Oh yeah.
man.
I said that it's
That is
comedy gold. I
that's
that
TV gold.
that was almost a Monty Python sketch. Um, it was, or not the 9 o'clock news sketch, or I mean, there's no really good modern comedies now. I mean, you couldn't even. Um, I mean, what made it for me? It wasn't so much the action to Starmer. It was Meloni and
What her expressions.
what the I don't know what the Italian was. WTF? I don't know what the Italian for that is, but I think that must have been going through her mind. I imagine she's a lady who could be quite expressive in a very grown up way if she wanted to be. And you just looked at it and you thought, okay, he had to do the roll call of all the other nations, and I honestly get that before the established wealthy, whatever nations you want to call them. I mean, okay, we could totally cheek on that one, but yeah, because there are people there who put a lot of effort, who did everything they could. I mean, you can't have the destabilization in the region from either side that's been going on, and fair play to. I mean, to say Donald Trump did it on his own is wrong. Yeah, he had an administration and he had people around
Of
him and
course.
advisors and all that. And
At the end of the day, he's responsible.
yeah,
It
yeah,
all went tits up. He'd get the blame for it. So
yeah. It is a um, yeah, and well done to them. I'm really, really pleased it's happened. I'm relieved it's happened. Um, it's one less thing off the checklist to worry about for us
I think
globally.
I think I
Yeah,
think Giorgia Meloni, she should accept what he said to her
yeah,
on face value.
yeah,
Because and don't read too much into it
mm,
because she's quite easy on the eye. I think we could all agree with that.
yes, yeah. As a
And
male, yeah,
basically, that's what Donald Trump said to her.
yeah,
He'd say she was a great, diplomat or a great leader.
yeah,
He said she's easy on the eye. But I think he was just trying to be nice to her.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think she's a bit of a tough cookie, and yeah, it's difficult when we all say, if I was in charge, I'm going to do this. We get this in our workplace. If I was ever in that position, we get to the position above us and we find we can't do a lot of things we said we could do due to various different reasons. Um, I mean, yeah, you can't have a leader who gets to there and starts starts doing things outside the rule of law and things like this, there has to be weights and I understand that, and I understand that with Italy, people say that she's a disappointment. She's not quite. She's achieved as much as she can probably do, without becoming a full-on blow. I was nearly going to say Mussolini there. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. I don't mean that in the way it was, but yeah, it is difficult. I mean, I think she's capable. When I was looking around the people behind him, and Macron had the sense to go into hiding. and Trump pointed that out. Finally, Macron's got enough problems on the domestic front, unlike Keir Starmer, who doesn't have any problems at all in the UK. Absolutely nothing. He can go gallivanting around the world and not worry about anything.
Like you said, he's oblivious to it all.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd rather he be out the country. I'd rather he never came back. I don't wish the man any harm,
half the job done there, Keir.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's But you look at him, and I was just looking at him behind. Now, there's a guy who's great crashed a party that nobody wants him there. Yeah.
No, to be fair, on to Starmer, they were invited to go.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there were like 45 or
Yeah.
46 heads of state who were invited to go. They were invited at the last minute, as Donald Trump said.
Yeah. 20 minutes. Yeah.
However, what made the UK awkward is the Secretary of Education. I forget her name.
Yeah, she said. Yeah.
She said that the UK had a major role to play in the peace deal, and the guy from the US, he told her that she was delusional.
Well,
Israel said it's not true. Conservatives said it's not true. Meloni said it's just true.
Well, I don't think she's top of the Keir Starmer fan club. I don't think she's been for quite a while.
I mean, Meloni is like a female version of the Argentine guy.
Yeah.
She's quite she's quite straightforward, and I like that about her.
Yeah.
Good sense, common sense.
Yeah.
But back to the UK, I think that as soon as you start trying to steal the thunder of especially that such a major thing.
Well,
that's got to turn people against you, no matter where they're from.
I mean, logically, I would say I wouldn't, even if I did a lot in the Middle East, I wouldn't necessarily be crying about it, because anything can happen at any time there. And as Trump said, we're trying to get to the end of a 3,000-year-old struggle, effectively. Okay, this is the 21st century. While we're still talking about having peace between people, we've got mass communication and should be able to talk to each other and understand each other. Okay.
The good thing about it is that Trump has got the rest of the Arab world on side. Well, so if Hamas tries to do anything shifty, from now on, I'm sure that the rest of the Arab world would, because it's the rest of the Arab world that's going to invest in the place.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not going to want to spend money on something that Hamas is going to destroy.
Well, exactly. I just wonder if part of the negotiations would be, and this is only me circumspecting, but reading Trump for what he is and reading other things as well, and him having the Arab world's on side. Now, I wouldn't want to see this. He probably had to say to Hamas, well, you know what Israel did? Do you really want to see what I can do? Yeah. If you start to get American hardware and
well, it's shown them what he can do.
Yeah.
By when he attacked Iran.
Yeah, exactly.
Took out the he doesn't need to say that.
No.
They know.
Well, this is it. But you could say just look across the other side of the region, and do you want to see this? I mean, the saddening thing is, whatever you might think of the education and things, it's sad to see children and women and other people die on both sides. I mean, what happened that led into this, and I don't want to dwell on it. The hostages are hopefully home. There's going to be a lot of recrimination still going on for years after this, if not forever. You know, we still. But yes, it's a step forward. It's a step in the right direction. Like you say, I mean, there's no love of Hamas, full of Hamas around the Arab world. A majority of the this is it. With people have this thing about the Arab world, and okay, I'm not going to use Islamists or anything else. The Arab world. A lot of them just want to have their own world.
Of course they do.
And there is no major brotherhood. I mean, they call each other brother and everything else. Yeah. We don't do that in Europe. We never call each other brother or things like this. And that's a different thing. Yeah. You get the idea. I mean, to see, yeah, them interested in the end of Hamas. I mean, no one has any love. Most Arabs do not love terrorism at all.
Of course, it does.
And they are ashamed the fact it's been exported. Now, you know, remember the UAE, the video of the UAE guy who said this. Now, Hamas is a terrorist organization prescribed in most places in the world. Just like the PLA were. Okay, Hamas was developed to counteract the PLA, and you got Arabs fighting Arabs. We can't keep going back in history on this, and I've just mentioned it illustratively. We can't keep going back on history and saying this happened because this. We've now got to look at the future, draw a line here. Yeah, forget the history. Let's move forward as a global world. I mean, okay, I can understand maybe the leaders being there as a show of strength behind it all. Fair play to the Arab leaders and many others who evidently didn't like talking there. I know they didn't want Israel at the press conference, and Israel respected that. And people say that's wrong. Let's just take the small victories that are there at the moment, and let's build forward. I would like to see a lasting peace in the region.